Walcott from Corvallis, and I'm down today to demonstrate to not do anything precipitous and dropping bombs on people until we're sure we know what we're doing and have the support of other nations. I think it's the kind of thing that you don't want to rush into. Make sure that you've got all your I's dotted and your T's crossed before you start killing people.
Okay. Hi, I'm Gail Walcott from Corvallis. War is never the answer, and to go into another country because we feel we're the police of the world is not only ridiculous but asinine. It doesn't solve anything and it never wins friends. It's the wrong thing to do.
Oh, well, I've been thinking all day about it. I was very disappointed, but now I'm feeling that maybe we've got to bring it out to the public and let the public decide. And so I think it's coming. I think it's going to be okay. I truly believe it's going to be okay. I still believe in Mr. Obama, so.
And what do you mean by okay? What's okay?
Well, I don't think we're going to have a war. I don't think anybody wants a war. I think we'll work it out politically.
I'm going to pull that out, okay? Okay, go ahead.
I am not in favor of striking in Syria. If the international community is not all together on this, it's not supposed to happen. And it hasn't worked the 3 times we've tried, and I don't think it's going to work now. So I say no.
My name's Bruce Marvin, and I'm a Corvallis resident. And I would be in favor of helping people who don't want to be in Syria get out. I think that's the best thing we can do is help them. Perhaps they could be moved to Russia for a period of time until things are solved. And those people who really want to fight should stay there and fight, but those who don't want to be there should have an avenue to get out.
Hi, I'm Max Jones, and I'm here tonight because I believe that any military attack by the U.S. on Syria will only make things worse, particularly for the people there, but also for any effort at a peaceful resolution. So it's not in our short-term interest, it's not in our long-term interest, and I think we should not discuss this sort of aggressive behavior.
Hey, I'm Rose Hart from Corvallis, and destruction only leads to more destruction. It's only going to create more problems. I believe if we need to do something, then let's go to a world court where we can try them instead of bomb them.
I'm Linda Smith. I've already emailed you, but I would like to stress no strikes, but try the approach with the UN and Russia and all the nations to get the chemical weapons out of Syria rather than violently.
My position is that if war worked, we wouldn't need it. And I really appreciate your position of holding tight, no bombing, no war with Syria.
We should.
Seen Karen?
You really? This is going to go to the Senate?
I haven't seen her.
This
We just got
embarrassing. Well, we shouldn't bomb Syria or anywhere else because that's bad. Really bad. Because war is bad because it kills lots of people, and war is bad because it kills people and it's bad for the environment.
I just don't think it's right to bomb other people. I would like to say that we should follow the UN when it comes to these kind of international matters, and we've got enough things to take care of at home. We don't need to be spending more money on war.
I think this is very hard for America to be policeman of the world. And this is something that America needs to stop. And when we think about consequences, this is another war, nothing more.
And I'd like to tell Senator Merkley and Senator Wyden to voice their concerns about this and tell their constituents what they're going to do and speak strongly for a different policy in Syria. I think the president has a great opportunity now to join with the Russians and seek a international United Nations effort to control the weapons, that chemicals like the Russians and the Syrians have proposed. The Syrians said that they'll cooperate or indicate that they might, and this is a new path. He needs to forego this missile war and join with the Russians and the Syrians and seek a negotiation, and maybe this can start something. We have to work with the Russians together on Syria. Nothing else will reach peace, so let's push the president to do that. Thank you.
My name's Bill Hayden. I'm the host of this event, and I want to encourage you to keep up the good work in asking questions, probing questions about our involvements in the Middle East, and especially this rush to war, this terrible rush to war that we seem to get swallowed up in time after time after time, based on fallacious evidence, often is not. Based on untrue stories, often is not. War after war after war. Thank you for your efforts on our behalf.
Your name first.
My name's Biara Edmonds and I live in Corvallis, and I would really urge you to say no war. You know, it's just not going to solve anything. It really is not going to solve anything. I really think we need to come up with better strategies and stop supporting the war industry. Thank you.
It's both Merkley and Wyden. I want you to vote no. Absolutely, you have to say no bombing of Syria. From Oregon, Corvallis, we do not want you to bomb in our name. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, and your name is?
Tamara Musafia, and I am a voter here, and De Fazio is my representative.
I have been corresponding with our senators, Wyden and Merkley, and I am quite disappointed that we haven't heard from them that they're supporting the cause for upholding international law, because two wrongs don't make one right, and I'm happy that Mr. Putin actually now had a really good idea, and I hope that works out so that we can have negotiations like adults.
Okay.
Ed Epley, Corvallis, Oregon, protesting that any attack or invasion of Syria, the method would be much better off if the United States would take the issue up with the International Criminal Court. If we were truly interested in justice, we would be a signatory to the International Criminal Court. We truly do not want justice. We are a vigilante, a rogue nation. We need to change that. The spirit is definitely changing in this country.
Yeah, I believe that we shouldn't be going into a war again. We should have learned from our mistakes. This just does not make any sense.
And I know Senator Wyden and Senator Merkley. I'm Margie Stevens in Corvallis. I am a community activist and I'm a United Methodist, and I'm interested in preventing bloodshed and bombing and mayhem in Syria because of the United States' actions. I would prefer that we pursue every route of diplomacy possible, and I appreciate your vote in that direction, even though it may go against what the President is recommending. Thank you.
I am not against military intervention in every case. I actually supported intervention in Afghanistan, though not in Iraq. In this case, I think it could do a lot more harm than good, and it's a bad idea. And we definitely want to see if Russia can get some kind of negotiated settlement before we do anything.
Okay,
Hi, I'm Nancy Regan, R-E-A-G-A-N. I live in Corvallis. I am absolutely opposed to a military strike in Syria. This idea of it being a single strike with no boots on the
background that kind of brought up some real interesting comments in Facebook, you know, like so was Pearl Harbor. It's time for us to grow up and act like adults in the world and start to learn negotiation skills. Thanks.
I'm Linda Terry, and I'm here in Oregon, and I totally think it's the wrong move to be going into Syria with any kind of military goals and tit for tat. You know, I mean, hang with the UN, do whatever's necessary to make it work, but not this. Thanks.
Okay, so I need your name.
Okay, right now? Hi, I'm Mona Gehrig, and I say no to war.
My name is Terrell Ratchford. I'm in Corvallis, Oregon, and I say no to war. We can't afford it. It doesn't solve anything. TERRELRATCHFORD. I'm a registered Democrat. My vote depends on this.
This is John Hawkins. I live here in Corvallis. And no on any action in Syria. We shouldn't draw lines in the sand when we don't know how we're going to carry out the threat.
Now that Russia has stepped up and said, let's look at this from a different angle, let's get the chemical weapons and have them under the purview of the United Nations, that makes some space for us. I think we should say, hey, if other countries are really willing to go to other choices other than war, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's figure out how to make them honest, make sure that they really give up the chemical weapons. Let's not be dragging behind the countries in the world that are really trying to solve this without attack. So I would say let's get behind that and work it out in a way that works for everybody.
My name's Oak, last name Freed. I'm a veteran. I think that the idea of this bombing in Syria is a big mistake, and I think special interests are interested in bombing in Syria, but I think the American people are not at all, or most of them. And I'm hoping that you will come down on the side of no in Syria. No, just no. Thank you.
I'm Mike Beilstein from Corvallis, Oregon. If President Obama takes any military action without the consent of Congress, he should be impeached. And if he takes action with the consent of Congress, then he's a war criminal, and so are you.
Hi, my name's Scott Burris, Corvallis, Oregon here, and I'm strongly opposed to dropping any bombs on Syria as Obama wants to do. I think there's a big double standard because the United States government used chemical weapons in Fallujah, you know, white phosphorus, killed many people. Why isn't the UN, you know, wanting to bomb the United States of America? Because we've used chemical weapons in the past. So it's ridiculous for us to say that Syria used chemical weapons, so therefore we need to bomb them. And I'm not personally convinced that the Syrian regime is the one that's responsible for using the chemical weapons that were used in Syria, what was it, 3 weeks ago or so. So I don't know who did the chemical weapons there, but somebody did it. But I'm just opposed to the U.S. involvement at all, period. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amy Hunter, and my message is this, that if we really want to help the Syrian people, I think we should go in with humanitarian aid to try to help those who have been attacked by their own regime, their own government, the Assad regime, and instead of trying to bomb them to get some kind of reaction, then we should just go in and try to help those who actually need the help. So that's my idea for a solution.
My name is Nancy Mildren, and we're having the National Day of Action to say that war is not a solution, preemptive war. The American people are tired of war, and Russia and Syria, the Syrian president, they're saying that they'll disclose their weapons, of chemical weapons that they have, and work with the UN for peace negotiations and diplomacy. We can also use like ceasefire, like pressure to stop the arms businesses that are sending weapons into Syria, and get people down at the table talking about war is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate.
I'm Jolene Broik, and I just want to say, please don't bomb Syria. Do not send bombs. There's got to be another way.
Yeah, what am I saying? I'm saying to use their good judgment and stand behind the principles that we stand for, sitting on this curve today.
I can't believe we're even talking about this again. I mean, if we learn nothing from our past experiences, then what a bad idea this would be. It's just wrong.
But I can't believe it. I carried this in 2002 in San Francisco against the Iraq War. And my middle school grandson went on to go to Iraq and just came home from Afghanistan. And he assumes he's going to be going to Syria. And I just can't stand it. Not just about him, but about anybody. Why?
There's no such thing as a humanitarian bombing. Bombing is not humane.
So I can't believe we're doing this again. I mean, after 2 wars started by Bush on a pack of lies that we couldn't control, had no outcome at all like we were ever promised, now Obama is going to start another war based upon yet another set of lies. Very familiar sounding lies, but lies nonetheless. Whatever you do, senators, do not vote for any funding for this war. Thank you.
Yes, if you turn left here, go all the way up, and you'll see sign. Keep going on this road. Open over a railroad overpass, and then it's about, I guess, 3 miles. But not a good guess.
Hello, I'm Sally Shaw. I live in South Corvallis. I'm 73, and I've been really active in anti-war things. But this is particularly preposterous, the fact that Obama received the Nobel Prize for Peace, and I do believe that they are not considering the repercussions throughout the entire world, not only the Middle East, if they go ahead with this ridiculous attack. So please vote against it.
My name is Leah Bolger. I'm a retired naval commander. I spent 20 years on active duty. Now I work with an organization called Veterans for Peace. And as a veteran, I think President Obama is being very short-sighted to think that he can have a finite, war where he says we're just going to be very limited and targeted and not expect repercussions from all the parties involved. I think he's opening up a Pandora's box that's going to lead to World War III. And if President Obama really wanted to abide by international law and uphold the law, then this country, the United States, should join the International Criminal Court, and we should be holding to those standards. And we should also stop violating international law by using chemical weapons of our own, like depleted uranium, napalm, Agent Orange, white phosphorus, and we should set the example, not try to punish other countries for doing something we do ourselves.
Whatever the subtleties of this situation, we need to step back and take a careful look at how to respond, or if we should respond. And this is really not the way to go. And I just urge you to take a calm look at this and to do what's right for everyone. And I don't think this is it.
All right. Please don't vote to make yourselves war criminals in my name.
And your name is?
My name is Carl Smiley.
So just a little blur.
My name is Rachel Ozertich, and my message is I think we have no good reason and umpteen million bad reasons if we were to bomb Syria or attack Syria. We need to be working with the international community. It's really an international red line, the red line that Assad reportedly crossed, and I'm not convinced that there's enough evidence for that either. But in any case, we need to work internationally with other nations and not get ourselves into another war, basically. If we attack Syria, Syria's going to attack back some way to somebody. I mean, it's ridiculous to think they won't. I can't believe that at all. So I think it's just crazy. And it just punishes more children. It's just more children are going to be hurt. And that's, you know, and families are going to lose family members. It's just, there's no good reason for it, and many, many other ways to deal with it. We just haven't studied those ways, and our media aren't helping us learn about those ways either.
My name is Ruth Johns, and Senator Wyden, please listen to what everybody else has said. I'm not in favor of us getting involved in the situation in Syria. I think there are far better ways to approach a situation from a more peaceful standpoint. And because we're going in after they've finally gassed people, the bullets, the other missiles weren't enough. You know, I think we're a little late to go in with missiles. Thank you.
My name is Richard Sapone White, and my statement is that I don't think we should be bombing or in any other way militarily intervening in what is going on in Syria. I don't think that we have the right to do so. I think it would make a lot more sense to see what other countries are going to do and to find other diplomatic pathways to accomplish our goals.
Hi, I'm Sarah Sapone White, and I would like to say that I think that there is indeed a particular horror to chemical warfare, but on the other hand, the horror of it is that people die in large numbers, and there have been so many deaths already in Syria of civilians that I think that a military attack only increases suffering and doesn't really resolve anything. That if we really believe that there's a line against chemical weapons, then the world should be responding, perhaps some kind of a tribunal for Bashar al-Assad, or some other way that we can come together to make our feelings known, and what other lines we can draw in response to put pressure on him to not go back.
Just don't do it. No way. There. And your name?
Gary Wheeler.
Okay.
And could you tell me, can you make any sense out of this, what's going on in Syria? I mean, it's not very believable. It's not very sane. Let's do something else. Good enough.
You got to start at square one and say, we don't want to bomb anybody, certainly not Syrian people, whom we're supposed to be protecting. This is weird. So, no bombing and behaving as international friends should behave. That's what we got to do. Straighten up our...
Bombs make enemies.